So UFC Azerbaijan, hopefully I said that right, just ended, well, a couple hours ago, and we just got confirmation from Dana. What's the question? Dana White, confirming that Jon Jones basically retired. I mean, Tom was right, dude. I mean, he retired him and he didn't even have to fight him, which is insane. You know, like, me personally, how I'm feeling about the whole thing, Jon, throughout all of this, up to this point of him retiring, has ruined his legacy for me. You know what I mean? Like, him refusing to fight Tom Aspinall, the interim champion of the division that he claims to be champion of, the fact that he would not fight the interim champion, Tom Aspinall, has ruined his legacy for me. Not only that, but how he's went about it. You know, he went about it in the worst way possible, man. Fighting Stipe Miocic, who is freaking an old man, an old firefighter that's not even fighting full time. Like, all of it was just terrible. The whole lead up to his retirement was terrible. How he acted about it was terrible. And it just ruins things for me. It ruins the idea of Jon Jones, the GOAT of MMA, the GOAT of the UFC, in my opinion. It just ruins it. You know what I mean? And then people are going to look at Tom Aspinall as an illegitimate champion. He didn't win the belt. Oh, he was the interim champion and the champion retired. He didn't beat Jon Jones, so he's an illegitimate champion. And he's not the real champion of the heavyweight division. You know, and people are going to say that because he didn't beat the champion to become the champion. So, and the heavyweight division is in shambles right now. You know, it's not a deep division. We all know that. It's not, you know, what it used to be, clearly. And now we have this whole ordeal with the champions, because there's not one champion. There was two champions. Now there's one. It's just a mess. Jon Jones is a mess, you know, and he's he's messed up the heavyweight division more than it already was. And for me, has ruined his legacy, man. Like, it's just embarrassing, dude. It's embarrassing for him, and I get secondhand embarrassment when I watch anything Jon Jones related. When I see him do anything championship related, whether it's refuse to talk about Tom, refuse to talk about fighting the interim champion of his division, who is the longest reigning interim champion up until the point of him being promoted to the champion. It's just weird. You know what I mean? And then Dana doing nothing about it, just gaslighting everybody into thinking that, oh yeah, what's the question? Yeah, that fight, yeah, it's in progress. Yeah, that fight's in progress. You know, we're waiting on Tom to sign. Jon Jones, he's signed, he's ready to fight. Tom doesn't want to fight. Dana was a freaking accomplice to the whole thing. You know what I mean? You're the president of the biggest MMA promotion in the world. Make the heavyweight champion fight the interim heavyweight champion. Simple, easy. Or if he doesn't, make him retire. But you didn't. And now he's retired as the champion. Now he can say, oh, Tom didn't beat me. You know, he's the champion of the division. I left the division. So, you know, he didn't beat me, so he's not the real champion. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. And it's just irritating because that was a fight everybody wanted to see. And that's kind of ruined a lot of, I don't know. It's ruined quite a bit of things for me and for other MMA fans. You know what I mean? The heavyweight division, like I said, was already in shambles. And I feel that he's did more damage to it. He's ruined his legacy. You know, not to say that his resume isn't, you know, a freaking amazing resume. But my God, man, when you refuse to fight the interim champion of your division, when you go back and look at the early days of his career, the early days of Jon Jones's MMA career in the UFC, it was Shogun who gave him the shot. An older Shogun giving a young title contender, Jon Jones, his shot at the title, and he won. But he wouldn't do that with Tom. He wouldn't do the same thing, you know? And as far as a business, when you're looking at like a business way, a business standpoint, and a safe standpoint, if I'm Jon Jones, it makes sense to avoid a fighter that I think is gonna beat me. But if you're the baddest man on the planet, if you constantly say you're the best, you should be able to fight anybody and beat them. You know what I mean? So you're not the best. You don't think you're the best if you're scared to fight another man. You know what I mean? If you're the baddest man on the planet like you claim you are, you should be able to fight him and you should be able to beat him. But you didn't fight him, which makes me and everybody else feel and think that you don't think you're going to beat him. And we'll never know that because he retired the champion. And, he just, here, Tom, now you're the champion, man. You didn't beat me, but now you're the champion. Now it just feels like a Mickey Mouse ring for Tom. You know what I mean? Like the bubble NBA, how LeBron and the Lakers won. Feels like a Mickey Mouse ring for him. And it's not even his fault. You know what I mean? Like, he would have fought Jon. Everybody knows that. And now he becomes the champion. And now every Jon Jones fan and every fan that's not educated in the matter, in the situation, is going to be like, oh, you didn't beat the champion, so you're not really the real champion. The real champion's Jon Jones, and he retired the champion. Now we got to hear that from people. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that. Tom is a elite athlete, elite MMA fighter, and now we have to hear that from Jones fans, from anybody that doesn't know anything about the situation, and from Jones himself. And he'll constantly say it because he's retired and he can't fight now and blah blah blah, whatever. It's just extremely irritating to know that that's going to be the future of whatever Tom is attached to and whatever Jon Jones is attached to, because that's going to follow him. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing with Khabib fans and with Conor. Whenever Conor does literally anything, Khabib fans have to say something about it, and that's going to be the exact same thing with Tom. Tom's going to do anything involving the heavyweight championship, and somebody's going to have to say, well, you didn't beat the real champion. The belt was given to you. You didn't beat Jones, so you're not the real champion. And we have to hear that the entire time Tom is in the UFC until he retires. Overall, man, it's annoying. And it's extremely frustrating to get that notification on my phone and the notification from the group chat saying that Jon Jones has retired. And none of everything that was spoken of, everything that was hinted at, everything that was, I can't even say building up, because it wasn't building up. It was everything. Every time it would, a little bit of progress towards that fight would happen, Jon Jones would set a roadblock and stop it. So it's just frustrating that we'll never see that. Jon Jones is gone. I can't even say that I'm going to be like, God, I miss Jon Jones, because it was just terrible towards the end, where I don't even really care about him, to be honest. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel that same way, but regardless, he's got the GOAT resume, apart from the things that stain it, but y'all know all about that, and I'm not going to get into all that. But yeah, man, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're frustrated like me, or you completely disagree with what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it, man.